Hello, welcome back. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss the second example about nested class. So for this example, we discuss anonymous class, focus on anonymous class. Okay. So let's take a look. In this example, we have four Java file. Okay, we have an interface, movable, and then an abstract class, movable class, and a class called processor, and a driver. Okay, there are four files. Let's first take a look at the first file, movable.java. So this is about an interface. And for this interface, it just has two methods, wander and move to. Okay. Pretty simple. And then let's take a look at this class. So for this movable class, it implements that movable interface, but it is an abstract class because we only implement the wander method. We didn't implement the move to method. Okay. And the wander method pretty simple. Okay, just to output something. Okay. And for this class, it also has name and some verb for wander. Okay. So a name and a verb. And then wander, what it output is just name and the verb. Okay, I'll put it. Pretty straightforward. So this is the abstract class. And then let's see. The third class. The third class is a concrete class, okay, called processor. And what its members, it's an array list. And the array list type is movable. So it's that interface, okay? So then you create an array list, okay? And it's defined as static final, so you cannot change it, okay? It's constant, but within each of the element, you can still modify it. Okay, and for this processor, we also define a method we call add element, and the type. It's a static method, okay, has a two-parameter name and verb. So what it does, if you take a look, it's the array list, okay, and it call array list add method, okay. And because the array list is movable, so whatever you want to add must is a relationship, is a movable, okay? And over here, if you take a close look, what we do here, this is, yeah, it's within a method, kind of, is it? And what we do, oh, here, and this is, so this add, okay, this is the add method, basically. We call that add method. We call that add method from array list, okay. What you can add should be a movable object, is it? But movable is interface. So you need to create a concrete class that implements movable. interface. Okay. So, but over here, what we do is we call that new movable class. And if you recall, that class is a abstract class. An abstract class, you are not supposed to use it to create object. And why here we can do this new? Because we implement, because this is a class, is it? Concrete class. This concrete class basically implements. So basically, this concrete class is a subclass of this movable abstract class. And that's why over here it implements this move to method. That's the only abstract method. So it implements it. Okay. And the implementation is within the curly brackets. Okay. And here is the implementation of this move to method. It's pretty straightforward. Is it just output the name and the verb 3 times and the location. And basically, we can see what this add. What it does basically here is the anonymous class. Is it? So you define basically and implement. Implement. Okay. We also what? Not to implement. We also define and instantiate because we also create an object. So basically here, this object is from the concrete class that implements the movable, that implement definitely movable interface, but it's from the abstract class that implement the movable interface. And that abstract class then extend create a subclass basically for this concrete class. Okay, so we can see we save a lot of a number of line of code to define the concrete class, is it? And define the method or something. So here it's just you just a kind of bundle of them together and don't name the concrete class, is it to save the class header. And so this is the anonymous class, okay? And it's also a local class here. Okay, so here we demonstrate how do we use anonymous class. It's very useful, we can see, okay. And then let's take a look at the driver. Okay, for what is this driver is also, we can see it has some menu. We create a menu. Okay, choice 1 is create the movable object. Choice 2 is let the animal wander. Okay, and choice 3 is move of the animal in the farm. Okay, and if we do choice 4, then it's the end of the application. Okay. And then for each choice, let's see. Yeah, for choice 1, it's just you need to enter the animal name and what the animal going to do. Okay. Then it calls the processor to add element. Okay. And for choice two, it just processes wander all. And then choice three, just process move all to, oh, we forgot it to. We just see the add. And then that processor also has two other static method. It's the wander or just to loop through each of the animal, call the animal's wander method. Okay. And for move all, it's just for each loop through each animal, and the animal move to, call the animal's move to method. Okay. And the move to method we already defined here, okay, implement here in this anonymous class. Okay, so let's go back to the driver. Okay, so after it, then we are going to close the application. So let's take a look at the running result. Okay, I already ran it. So I create first is a dog bark, second is a cat meow. Okay, then we choose the second choice. So it will display the animal bark. Cat is meow. Okay, and then that's the second choice. Then we choose to add a new animal horse wrong, okay? And then we want to uh, animal do something that for the second choice, okay? So then you will see the output all three, dog, cat, and horse. And then when we choose three, it's going to set where it's going to move to as it enter a location. So after we enter the location, then, okay, so it will follow the move to method, okay? So do three times of the verb and then to the location. Okay, so in that's about this example. So the key point for this example is to demonstrate us about uh, the anonymous class. How do we use it? Okay. Okay, that's the end for this example. So we are going to go to discuss next example in a short while. See you.